Hey, everybody. Look at this. No Gus this week.
No Gus.
We should say right out of the gate that this is a pre-recorded podcast. It always upsets people when...
Why do people get upset?
I don't know.
Like we're lying to them?
Yeah, that we were pre-recording the podcast.
Cheating them?
What if one of us is dead by the time this airs?
So
What if that happened?
Dude, don't say that.
Just call attention to it, you know?
Oh my god.
Hey, give me a beer.
I'm a pro at opening luggage locks because I used to work for a luggage store out back in the mall in Allen.
No shit.
Yeah, so
Which place do you work for?
Samsonite.
Oh, really?
And every time somebody would come in, they'd do the Swami, Samsonite, like the Dumb and Dumber reference, and
God, you must
fucking
have
wanted
loved
to
that.
murder them. That was the shittiest job ever, but yeah, I got
had
really
the same
good
job,
at
by the way. I used to work at the Houston Trunk Factory, and it's now Bag and Baggage, which I think is a national chain. I used to sell luggage. I did it for 2 summers.
No shit.
Yeah.
Shit, then con. Yeah.
Luggage
so
bros.
The thing about luggage bros. The thing about that is not a lot of people come in to buy luggage. So there's like hours at a time where nobody will come in, and I would just go in the back and I would sleep. I'd like take a shit. I'd be the only one on the job, but I would just do whatever
Like a 2-hour
in the
shit.
back. it didn't matter because nobody would come in. I remember one time I came.
Hope there's a comma.
I
between those
woke
two.
up with drool on my face, and I had been sleeping like this, and my leg was asleep. So I came out, and I heard that there was someone outside. They had been in there for like 15 minutes.
Nobody was there.
No one was there. And I was like coming out, like rubbing spit on my face.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? I gave him like 15% off.
I went to
Terrible.
Did you really?
You're one
so you like
customer of the
steal
day.
from the company on top of that. Not only did I do a poor job that I'm being paid to do, but let's steal from the company
something
as well.
like that happened to me. I went to a Radio Shack last week for the first time.
Why?
I needed walkie-talkies.
They still exist?
Yeah,
Why?
Exactly.
Why do you need walkie-talkies?
It's a long story, but I'll tell you.
Are you a kid in a Spielberg movie? What the fuck?
So I go in there, and there are 2 people working there, and one person's like on their laptop watching something, and they look up and they're like, a person. And they're almost like, one lady was like, let me help you. And then the other guy was like, no, I got it. Like, they were fighting to like help me. And I was like, I just need walkie-talkies. They're like, well, here they are. I was like, yeah, just those ones. They're like, okay.
We were just talking about minimum wage. I think when I started working, minimum wage was $3.35.
Wow.
That's what we were paid.
It was $5.25 when I started working at a grocery store. I was the dairy boy. But I got $6 because I was in a refrigerator all summer. So
Oh, yeah?
75 cents extra.
75 cents
That
for
was
the
a
frostbite.
shit fucking
Yeah.
job.
Can that fuck you up? Like breathing in cold air all the time like that?
I mean, I turned out normal, so you tell me.
As far
It
as
was,
you
it was an
know.
entire like 5 months that I was in this fucking freezer, and I started going crazy. I would be the only one in there, so like they had the milk shelves lined up in a way that anybody that's up here couldn't see if like something was down on the ground. So I would see kids with their moms, and I would look through the glass, and I would like wave at the little kids.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
they'd be like, "Mom!" and then I'd like scurry off to the back of the fridge, just like fucking.
Became like some sort of weird legend of that store, like the freezer guy, like up there with like Bigfoot and Loch Ness monster.
Hunchback of the Frozen Isle.
I had shitty jobs, and then I worked at a toy store. So
That seems like a good gig. I worked at a video game store. I went from
That's
working
nice.
at Babbage's, which is now
Babbage's.
was
Wow.
bought by GameStop.
Yeah.
Or bought by, I guess, EB Games, which then became GameStop. But I went from working at Babbage's to Bag and Baggage, which was like
I got a bad.
Babbage's bag.
I worked at all the
baggage.
shittiest stores. I had like an overlap there where I worked at 2 places. at
Your
once.
resume was a poem. It rhymed. And
There's alliteration in my resume. Hey, do you
Bernie
know or
Burns.
my CV? For
I've got a weird random job that's pretty shitty that I did in college.
Hey, here's Clayton. He's on the mic.
Hey, finally using the new mic.
People who don't know Clayton, he does all the audio engineering for the podcast.
I should be in there right now, but I'm not.
So what is your weird job?
In
Clayton?
college, it's weird because it sounds like it would be an awesome job, but it's not. I was filming all day long on films, so I started working nights DJing at a strip club.
Nice.
But it was like the blue collar, like welders and construction
Dude,
workers
I went
strip
past one
club.
of these places yesterday. We were doing location scouting for Laser Team, and we needed some rural locations. I found like it looks like they redid a barn as a strip club. Nice. It's just like you know the
Just called it the barn.
you know the lady's silhouette that you see on the back of like semi-truck mud
truckers.
flaps. That was the symbol for this thing. I mean, there was no effort being
just
made.
blew
at
it
all.
up.
Stable
Well,
one,
this
Cindy.
this one was weird.
People won.
This one was weird because it was in Savannah, Georgia, and very much like, say, East Austin. It used to be in a place where it was like that, where it was like where only a few people went, but then the city expanded. So it was like in a strip mall shopping center, like next to a shoe repair and like a makeup shop. And so they had blacked out windows, and they couldn't have any sort of sign because that would like devalue the locations next to them.
Just a crack house
Right.
looking
So
building.
it looked sketchy as hell, and it was
Yeah,
fun.
that
like
the
and-
blacked out building next to your liquor store is probably going to
Signless building.
Yeah.
But so you think it would be a great job, but you're there from 6 p.m. to about 4 a.m. No breaks because I'm the only
I don't
DJ.
think that would
so
be a
I had
great
to-
job.
I had to learn to pee between songs, like count down in my head. I'm like, okay, I got 1 minute and 30 seconds to go pee, and if there's a line, you're screwed. And you're like, oh, I think it'd be good. But all the girls were either drunk all the time or just drugged up crazy.
Well, shocking. I
Yeah.
am surprised to hear that.
But so they would
Hard
just
to
come to the
leave.
booth. They'd be like, I don't want to dance to this song. And they'd be like really high. And you'd be like, well, you're supposed to be out there right now. And they're like, I'm not doing it. And my boss is looking at me like, get him on the stage. I'm like,
Did
I
you
don't know
ever
what
have
to
to
do.
dance for them?
no.
In their
but
place?
Sooner or later, my boss just thought I was great because I showed up on time and I wasn't drunk. So he was just like, just tell him to fuck off.
Do you,
you could have risen very high in that,
That's
that
the
line
standard.
of words.
What low standards? You don't show up drunk. I appreciate
Wow.
that.
so do you have the strip club DJ voice?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you do like Blaine to the main stage?
Yeah.
Nick.
All right, everybody, up to the stage now. We've got Blaine, the man you've all been looking for, the muscle man from Texas, Blaine. Well, you guys out there in the audience, remember,
My face.
Thursday
Sorry,
is
Jordan.
military night. Come here back on Thursday.
singles
Bring
out.
your military ID. You get in for free, and drinks are half off. That's right, half off. We'll see you Thursday, but right now it's Blaine.
I don't have any cash.
I
Do
know.
you
I'm
take-
like I'm
Give me
reaching
your
right
ones.
now.
Just slide it through my butt crack.
There you go. There you go, Blaine. Here, I got 2 ones for you.
thanks, bud.
There you go.
I'll take your money.
So just shot. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, first jobs are. What about you two guys? You guys?
I think the only really bad job I ever had was I worked at Hollister for a little while. And the crappy thing about that was like there was nothing ever to do, so literally you're just folding polos for about 6 hours.
What is Hollister?
Hollister, like the clothing,
It's the clothing
store,
company.
like with like the half naked people all over the walls, all over the place.
Oh, those
like
are the ones-
Abercrombie.
Abercrombie's like
they're like
little stepbrother.
really dark stores, right?
Very dark store, loud music all the time.
Yeah.
Like no one goes in there at all. Like it's like usually empty except for like during Christmas, and so you're just folding clothes all day long, and time does not pass at all.
Brandon's over there. What does he want?
Yeah, what's up with you, dude?
So I was on the podcast last week, and there
Oh,
was
boy.
this great moment where
Brandon
Gus,
Farmer
Barbara,
Heedy,
and
everybody.
Burnie were talking about how hard it was for them to schedule like a hangout together with Blaine, and I'm sitting there
not what it
knowing
was.
that nobody invited me. Actually, I looked up that conversation that I've had with those people. Can we see it on screen?
Oh boy.
Jeez, he's got
He has a
evidence and everything.
PowerPoint presentation.
So look at that. That's my conversation with Blaine, Burnie, Barbara, and Gus. So
it's
I'm
just
trying
one
to figure out.
smiley emoticon. That's it.
I'm trying to figure out what I have to do in order to get invited. So I was
look
thinking I
up-
could take the Blaine approach and just show up and spend all my time on Tinder and talk about what girls are hot.
Yeah.
Blaine, would that be inaccurate?
No, I deleted it there long ago.
Hot. She's hot. I could do the Gus approach and not want to be there because apparently there's something sexy about, the person who doesn't want to
I don't know, Brandon. I
It's a
try
good
that
point.
a lot.
It's a good point, Brandon.
Barbara's just pleasant, which, I got
You're
no
not-
shot there.
Brandon
You're
is
not gonna
reading
do
these
that.
from a notepad. He
Yeah.
made notes of all these people.
And I also
Yeah,
have
you're
a
taking this
pen
way too seriously.
because I'm trying to find out what else I have to do here.
Wait, so there was last
Maybe-
week you guys talked about how it's hard to hang out with me? What is that?
No,
They
I
were
don't
trying
think
to
he
hang
said
out with
that.
Gus.
We talked about how hard it was to hang out with Gus.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the premise, was that we all went out to grab a drink, and I texted Gus and made sure that Barbara and Blaine also texted Gus to go out.
Yeah.
You were not included. I'm gonna make this
Context.
even worse for you. This is how bad this was. I even thought, I should invite Brandon, and then I thought, no, he's busy working for me, basically. So I don't want to pull him out of the office because I want him to keep working. I literally thought that. That was my whole thought process.
so
on
anybody
it.
you asked, you didn't care if they kept working.
Oh, what are Blaine and Barbara doing at like 9 o'clock?
Nothing.
Brandon is here. You're here too much, honestly.
Well, this is a busy season for us because we're finishing up the DVDs. When Blu-rays, we used to make one DVD, one disc. Now we make 4.
Yep.
So this is a pretty busy time for
What's
all
the
of
4
us.
DVDs we do?
Well, we do 2 DVDs and 2 Blu-rays.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
they're all completely different. So it sucks because the animators are all hanging out by themselves and joking. And I have 2 offices to myself halfway across the building.
Brag about it.
And nobody who wants to hang out with me. I can't be like, oh, sorry, guys. I'm busy. I'm working. I just look at my phone and
Nothing.
there's
Brandon,
nothing but a emoticon.
We hang out, bro. We did the Disneys,
the brocation.
That was a good time, right?
Come on, man.
Earthquakes, earthquakes I can deal with. Like you get used to it, you sleep through most of them when you grow
Yeah.
up in California. What freaks me out here is like the tornado stuff.
Oh, tornadoes? I was about to say that.
I don't think-
Completely used to them.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Blaine. How long were you in Oklahoma?
I was until I was 6. While I was there, though, I went to the storm.
That's tornado country.
That's
I went to
real.
storm shelter. I can't even remember how many times. There was like one time where I remember very specifically. We were at my grandpa's house. It's like a big family thing. We went in the shelter and we were there for pretty much the entire night. The tornado just passed right over us.
Awful.
And it was exciting, but I was scared at the time. But like thinking back, I was like, oh, tornadoes.
We had a serious like tornado warning just recently a little bit when we were having those storms. Like the most serious that's happened since I've been here. And I was like trying to think of who to text. And I was trying to think of people who've been here forever. So I was texting Jack. And he was like, I was like, telling him, what should I be looking forward to? And he's like, if you hear the sound of a train, then you're in trouble. And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, are trains going to be flying around or something? Like, is that what happens? He's like, no, that's the sound it makes when it's like getting really serious. But I was so freaked out. I didn't know what that meant.
Well, it's supposed to be door.
I didn't know what that meant. Like, when you hear the sound of a train, get to the hiding.
It's
like, what?
bathtub, right? Bathtub's the secure place.
The train is the alarm.
They always say bathtub. It's also a smaller room, but it also seems like one of the rooms that has the most amount of glass in it with mirrors and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems dumb. I remember when I was in high school, I covered a huge tornado that hit North Texas, and they just got fucking demolished. Like, it seemed like a really shitty time. I like apocalyptic scenarios. Like, those are some of my favorite movies.
You just want to be in one?
Yeah, I even have like an apocalypse kit at my house. It's a backpack, and I got like a hatchet and like a duster, you know? So I'm going to be like the cowboy that like strolls into town.
You made a motion when you said duster that made me think of like a skirt that you were wearing.
I got the duster.
You really, so part of your apocalypse kit is your wardrobe? Like,
absolutely.
Hey man, you gotta look cool.
That's like yeah.
Why
you
are
only
you
got
surprised?
like one outfit to wear.
And then you know what's gonna happen is Blaine's gonna put on the duster, get the apocalypse kit, walk out his door, and get killed by somebody who actually is gonna
He's
survive.
going to do that pose with his hands on his hips.
He's gonna
and breathe in.
Let's do this.
Here's what all your preparation is going to lead to. It's going to lead to this conversation that somebody else has going, hey, where'd you get that duster? It's like, oh, I killed a guy.
What is this from the day after? We missed a story you were about to say a little while ago when I talked about peeing in public.
Right, yeah.
You talked about getting locked. I don't want to miss that. So can we go back to that real quick?
I'm going to get in trouble for this.
I want to hear it. Oh, good. I really want to hear it now.
Avoid it?
I'm going to get in trouble for this. I'm looking over there. Good. So one of the other things that happens a lot is that I will...
Ashley has perked up so much right now.
I listen, we drive to work a lot together, and then sometimes the car is like, it's like we'll drive separately to work, Ashley and I.
Okay.
And then the car will stay here for a couple days because we'll drive back and forth together for a while. And then we get off, and it's like, well, I need to go home early. And she's like, okay, we'll go ahead and go. I am 100% since we moved from stage 5, or moved into stage 5. I'm 100% of leaving the office before Ashley and not having my keys with me because my Tesla does not have a set of keys. It just has
house keys.
Yeah, it just has a little fob on it. So I don't carry my key ring all the time. So that happens all the time. I always forget my keys. Ashley, it happened to her one time out of 6 months we've been here. She got locked out. She took the car home and I was taking the truck home and she got locked out. And I was like, oh shit. I said, I'll drive home right away. And I'll find you. I'll get you. I'll let you in. She goes, well, hurry because I have to pee. And then I was like, I'm packing up right now. And she says,
plot thickening.
She says, you know what?
Ashley is like this right now.
She goes, you know what? Forget it. She goes, no big deal. And I was like, no, you got to pee. She goes, I don't have to pee anymore. And I was like, what? And you know, Ashley doesn't give a shit. She doesn't give a fuck. So I was really surprised. She tells me the story that Ashley peed in our backyard, which seems like I would do that in a heartbeat.
Do you pee in your backyard?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I tell the kids to do it too, like boys. Say, go ahead, just
Did
pee
you-
right
Did you go
there.
in the pool, Ashley?
No, did you pee on a
Come up to the
plant?
microphone.
Microphone.
See, I'm hoping she'll do the
mic.
She'll do the motion.
Did you?
How did that work out for you?
Sorry.
Sweetheart.
He says sorry now.
So first of all, I did not go in the pool because I'm not a savage. I went against a tree like a civilized
Yeah, me
human
neither.
being.
She went against a tree. She didn't go in the pool. She went against a tree.
Well,
That's
here's the
talented.
thing: like, girls don't have the same equipment that guys do. You can't just whip it out and just like write your name.
Let's hope not.
And you know, I was wearing jeans, so I needed something to like lean against. So I had to like grab the tree and just like lean.
Wait,
like,
you grabbed it
lean.
forward? You didn't like kind of like
So
go
you're-
I
backward?
did.
and lean forward?
I actually had to hug a tree and pee on it.
So you're, like, leaning forward at an
I think I
angle.
sent some really mixed signals.
So she grabs the tree. This is the way she described it to me. She grabs the tree, puts her feet like at the base of the tree, and then leans back.
Right,
So
but
she's
see,
like, we have
Interesting.
neighbors.
But see,
Remember Home Improvement?
The
The
real
neighbor that
trick
would
was
look over the
I had to
fence?
I had to scout the entire backyard first to figure out like what's a blind spot to all neighbors because we have our neighbors have like they can see across the yard, especially like ones on the other side, which means like no topless sunbathing. It's really sad.
I'm so mad at them. They took a tree down and she won't topless sunbathe anymore.
Sons of bitches.
I know, right, Blaine? It's the worst.
dare they?
But
It's the
no,
worst.
But you
I
still
did
topless
find. I
sunbathe,
now
right?
know the one spot in the yard, and it's next to the
The
tree.
sweet spot.
You found it.
Yeah,
But there's no sun there.
That's my new pee spot.
Next time I come over,
I'm gonna be like Joe. I'm gonna be like Joe the cat and just refuse to pee indoors.
That part of the yard is gonna die.
next time I'm there for like Game of
Jesus.
Thrones or whatever, just point that spot out so I know
Yeah.
not
What
to
are you
go
so
over there.
worried about? What are
Avoid
you
it.
so worried about? Let me tell you,
Ashley pee-pee.
I've peed all over the backyard, so don't worry about it.
Hey,
Bring a black
Blaine,
grass.
Blaine, if you're not careful, I'll pee in your gym.
No, you stay away from Blaine's gym.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go, Blaine.